Cannot wait for the playoffs. We cannot get there. That picture is not set in permanent paint until after this week. Looking at the NFC playoff picture, the only thing really that is set is that the Saints have clinched the #1 spot. The Bears and the Rams both duking it out for that 2 seed. Rams can get it even if the Bears and the Rams lose this week because they have a better overall record. And those Cowboys send pretty. It's really that Vikings and the Eagles squad that's
Vikings win and they're in, Kay. If the Vikings lose and the Eagles win, they're in. If both teams lose, the Vikings have the nod.
AFC playoff picture. Now let's flip it and take a look at that guy. Nothing is locked up here. You've got the Chargers and the Chiefs still have not having clinched the 1 seed here. The Patriots sitting pretty. They could even get the 1 seed mathematically, right?
Yes, they can. If the Chiefs lose and the Patriots win, hello.
What else intrigues
Things
you?
go through Fox.
I mean, listen, I'm all about that Colts-Titans game. Game on! Sunday night, Carrie Underwood. I'm in for that. That's the one. I love
Waiting all day.
A win in
All
it.
Sunday.
That's the old song. Now it's game on!
I like the throwback.
A lot of people do.
11 games this week have playoff implications. All 16 playing on Sunday. It's going to be a wild day of football, and we're here to get you guys set. It is time for Who Needs to Fuel Your Hustle, presented by Oikos 000. Breaking down the players who need to step up their game a little bit to make sure they're in the postseason after Week 17. Nate, who needs to fuel our hustle?
I'm looking at Lamar Jackson versus the Browns.
Okay.
All right, we're familiar with the storyline, right? The last 3 seasons, they didn't get into the postseason. Him being the 32nd pick, and he's going up against who? Baker Mayfield, who was the #1 overall pick. We're familiar with the record, right? 5-1 as a Ravens start. It seems like as soon as he took over, everything changed. And now all of a sudden this team can run better than ever. He's even throwing the ball downfield. That defense is playing at a higher level. So for me, they have everything going for themselves. And I was looking at Lamar Jackson when he first came in the league. He was young, and this undeniable talent just took the league by storm. Kind of like Kendrick Lamar. He was young, his undeniable talent. It took hip-hop and music by storm. So it's Lamar Jackson, Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick Lamar Jackson, I got a couple songs, so I'm going to do a little something and talk to Lamar.
Let's go.
So listen now, even though the Ravens had loyalty to Flacco, I mean, you took over, and now you're in control. Now, how's that for poetic justice? Now we're here, right? Week 17. If you win, you're in. So don't let Cleveland do what Cincinnati did to you last year and knock you out the postseason, because Baltimore will be a mad city. I want you to look across that field and yell, "Bake don't kill my vibe. Bake don't kill my vibe," because he will. You tell Baker Mayfield to sit down, be humble, because getting into the playoffs, it's in your DNA. Let's go, Lamar. Fuel your hustle, man. Fuel your hustle.
Bake don't kill my vibe.
Bake don't kill my vibe.
Sounds like a t-shirt.
It is. We got to get Lamar Jackson together with Kendrick Perkins at some point. Just a picture. You know what I mean? Just the two of them together would be perfect. I don't know any of those references, but I know their names.
Not Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, exactly.
You went
Kendrick
another
Lamar.
Kendrick. Okay.
That's the perfect guy.
Guys, I got to thinking about Oikos 000. And
I love it.
It's Greek yogurt.
Protein.
It, of course, is protein, good for the muscles, but also, and I researched this, Greek yogurt good for the old noggin. Good for the brain, good for protecting the brain, which is, of course, a muscle. You know who probably eats a lot of Oikos 000 in December? Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah.
He is 7-2 in December as a head coach, and he is going to have a huge game. Here's what's at stake. Let's lay this out here. The Niners, nothing to play for. Their season is done, but they can play spoiler to the Rams, who still have not clinched the 2 seed in the NFC. They could lose it if the Bears do get a win on the road against the Vikings. So Shanahan here has to play spoiler, and he's going to have to do everything he can to make it happen. No Breida in this game. He's down a ton of weapons, but they are so feisty and scary. They really gave it to the Bears a week ago, and I know they're playing at the Coliseum, so that makes it even harder. But I'm not going to say there's bad blood, but there is such a healthy, wonderful rivalry that I want to happen, and I want to continue, of course, between Shanahan and the guy who was his quality control coach in Sean McVay. He was basically, and this is in Sean McVay's own words, his assistant. Like, he was the guy who did everything for Shanahan, and he's getting all the glory, of course. Last year, the Rams won the first matchup, and it was awesome. It was fireworks. It was great. The second matchup, of course, the Rams rested all their starters, so the 49ers got the win. This year, the Rams got a win, but that was against C.J. Beathard. Nick Mullins is a thing. He's emerged as a guy. So I think, I mean, you can tell me this. There's really something there.
Yeah, look, Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. His father, Mike Shanahan, was the head coach, and Sean McVay was the tight ends coach, and that's kind of how it was. And McVay would sit at the hip of Kyle and Mike Shanahan, and when Kyle Shanahan went on to Atlanta. Sean McVay got elevated in Washington, and the rest is history. But these two have a very healthy relationship. They rely on each other. They're friends. However, they're very competitive.
Healthy competition.
And last year, Week 17, the Rams had nothing to play for. Kyle Shanahan went into the Coliseum and blew them out. And guess what? The Rams in the wild card round, they weren't good. They lost to the Falcons. So there is a score to settle here, and Kyle Shanahan will never not bring it when he's playing against Sean McVay.
Yeah, he doesn't want. They speak so highly of each other. Everyone was watching their press conferences. Like, come on, like give me a little something. They don't do that. But as far as setting the tone for next year's division race and what could be for the Niners next year, they're going to want to go get a win in the Coliseum. And if the Rams don't have Todd Gurley, if they decide to rest him, this game could be closer than people think.
Oh yeah, no question.
All right, is that it? For
No, what do you think,
Russell? What
Strakes?
What you got, Peter?
Well, I'm going to go with a fan base that was feeling pretty good about themselves for 15 weeks of the NFL season. A fan base that was puffed chest, eating lots of Oikos yogurt, having a good time. And the last 2 weeks, things have started to get a little weird. I'm talking to the Chiefs fans.
I think you need to.
Here comes the doom and the gloom and the doubt and the creeping in. And tell you what, Chiefs fans, I know what you guys need this week. You need to see that defense show up because the defense that we have seen the last 2 weeks is not going to get it done in the playoffs. And the name that you will see all over Twitter and all on the message boards is a guy named Bob Sutton. Bob Sutton is the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. There he is. He's been there for a long time. In the last few weeks, it has been a lot of long nights for Chiefs fans. They got a lot of points scored on them against the Ravens. They found a way to win that game. They had a lot of points scored on them 2 weeks ago. They found a way to lose that game. And then last week against the Seahawks, they could not come up with a key stop in a big Sunday night game that would have clinched the #1 seed in the AFC. They were not able to get it done. If they're going to stand a chance against the Patriots, if they're going to stand a chance against the Chargers in the second time they play, if they're going to stand a chance in the divisional round against potentially the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs defense needs to show up at some point in the regular season to at least rest a little bit of your assurance that, hey, we're going to be all right. That defense the past 2 weeks is not going to win a playoff game, and it will not win a Super Bowl at the very least. So as great as Patrick Mahomes is, he's only as good as that defense. The defense has not been good. They need to be better because it has been a lot of weird thoughts going on in Chiefs fandom where, hey, wait a second, maybe things aren't any different than they used to be.
It seemed like this happened all of a sudden.
Oh, nice.
That's it. How about it? This is one of the great intrigues as we round the corner into the playoffs.
Playing the Raiders. Go beat them.
I would hope.
What you got, Kyle?
This is a very jaded, cynical time. It really is. And especially this time of year, people are tired.
Jerry Maguire.
People are depleted. Maybe Christmas didn't go how you want. Maybe you didn't see your family. Maybe you're falling out with your family. Maybe you and your wife are addicted to technology and don't talk to each other anymore. I think especially this year, especially this time of year, we could all look for something to believe in. And I think that something is Nick Foles. I really do. And I have a card here with a bunch of stats on it and completion percent. I'm just going to tear this up. This is completely irrelevant when it comes to Nick Foles. Nick Foles is something that we can all believe in because he represents something. If you're a fan in Miami or Detroit or Buffalo or Tampa and you're out of it, I think you can believe in Nick Foles. You know, we put the Eagles, when we show our playoff scenario, in the hunt. There's a lot of people out there who are in the hunts. They're in the hunt for the girl or the guy or the job or the apartment or the family they always want.
College, right?
Nick Foles is them. They want to go to college. They're in the hunt for college. Nick Foles is them. Nick Foles is something we can believe in. You're not the most talented guy. You're not the most charismatic guy. Everybody gives up on you. You win the Super Bowl, they give up on you again. You come off the bench and you're Superman. It's a really cool thing. And in true to form, the Eagles have tapped into this. They love it. If you look in the locker room, they're embracing it. They're dead earnest about this thing. They set up a shrine. We've seen this. This is in Chris Long's locker, and there's Foles. It really tells a story back on the Rams, the St. Louis Rams, the book that's literally called Believe It, the candles with images of his face. Fletcher Cox goes and lights those candles. And I don't think they do this as a joke. They have a franchise quarterback a few lockers down, and they go to this every single day, and they believe in it. We are 4 individuals here who believe in underdogs, who believe in good stories in this league, and believe in good stories in this world, and I think we should follow suit. I'd like you to come on a little walk with me, guys, if you don't mind. I'm just going to go right over here. We have this expansive little set here, but I'd like to treat this with a little bit of reverence, so everyone just drop your voice a little bit. No cell phones allowed, please. Just come on over here. We set up our own little shrine here. We have the same shrine because we believe in the Nick Foles of this world and the actual Nick Foles. Of course, here he is on the Rams. We've got the candlesticks. Nate's been calling him Big Stick Nick. And we've got the book. which is Believe in It, in which he writes, "You're never more dangerous than when no one believes in you." That means the Eagles become the most dangerous team of the past month. Since that game against the Saints, look out. This is the team. They're pointing to the scoreboard. Nobody wants to play them. And I think what we're going to do here, every week, and I think it's going to be weeks, we're going to add a little token to this. You know what they need this week?
What?
They need a little bit of help. They need a little bit of this guy right here. We're going to put up number 52 on the Chicago Bears, who they need to come through and have a big game against Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. And I believe week after week, we will all come up to the shrine. I should lower my voice out of reverence, and we'll add a little token. And it could be that we take our little Samsonite roller and we put all this stuff in it and we travel to the state of Georgia and we set it up on our set in Atlanta. But it has to start this weekend. Nick Foles in 2018, something to believe in, guys. I think we can do it. Woo!
Oh,
Walk
sorry.
back. Technically not supposed to wear jeans during the shrine. They have a very strict policy. So everyone just keep it down.
Namaste.
Namaste, lotus pose, Foles pose. I feel good about that. I feel like we got some good juju here. We burned some sage. Phil Jackson would have loved that segment. We'll see.
That is who needs to fuel his hustle.
That's right.
That whole team needs to fuel their hustle so we can root for that story. Good job, guys.
Righty then.
Aren't you supposed to do that out of your butt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Let's bump. Which song we